What's up everybody? You're watching the From WordPress to Statamic YouTube channel. My name is Michael. Today I want to talk about something that at first might seem like it's pretty daunting or challenging, but in actuality isn't all that difficult. And I'm talking about using a database instead of the flat file system. Out of the box, Statamic is using a flat file system to save our data. Well, maybe there's a situation where you want to scale this to tens of thousands of entries in your collections, and you want to move this to a database and not bloat your Git repository. Well, it's a pretty straightforward way to do that. Before we go and take a look at the documentation, let's just take a quick look at what I've got on the screen just to see how it's working. Over here, I've got this use banner toggle, and if I save that, you can see down here, false changes to true, so I know I'm using the file system to track everything. So I'm going to open up this other tab here where I've got the documentation for about storing content in a database. And as it says here, it's configured to use SQLite by default, and so you don't need any of this other stuff for connecting to a DB. That's if you're going to use MySQL or something else like that. But for now, let's just stick with SQLite. And the way that we're going to actually leverage this is we're going to run this command here, php please install eloquent driver. And that's an add-on that's going to install into a system. So I'm going to pull up my terminal. I'm going to paste that in. And as it's installing, basically what I'm going to expect to do once it's done is I can choose which things that I want to save in the database instead of the file system. And I get this list here, as you can see, so I got asset containers, assets, blueprints, all this stuff. Maybe all I want to do is save the entries. So I'll just select that, hit enter. Yes, I'll import the ones that are there already. Okay, that was easy. Now I'm just going to open Table Plus where I already have a connection to my SQLite database, which, as you can see, has nothing in it. But now I'm going to refresh, and all of a sudden I have all these tables. And take a look at that. Here's my entries table with all the things that we were looking at in the control panel just a second ago. So I've got my blog, I've got my person, I've got some pages. So let's look at this about page, which is where we were looking before. If I scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see that use banner is true, which is the value that was saved here. And now if I go back here, I'm just going to give it a refresh just to make sure everything's all working fine. And I'll just uncheck that, save and publish, and come over here and nothing's changed. If I was using the file system, it would be false, but I'm going to pull up Table Plus again and just give it a refresh and scroll down to the bottom. And there we go. The use banner is now set to false. So we can see now I'm already using the database. This took no time at all. And if I wanted to migrate other things into here, some of the configurations, globals, the taxonomies, I can do all that too. And whatever I've got in my file system, it'll automatically migrate into the database for me. And then you're off to the races. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe and sign up for my email newsletter, and the link is in the description. Catch you next time.